Block party turning up the volume. Miller on the slide. Game, set, match.
Spectacular crowd inside Mackey Arena. Purdue builds a huge lead.
It's all! The hammer! Purdue is going to beat Tennessee here at the Broadway Block Party.
It is down. History for Dave Shondell. The all-time wins leader at Purdue.
Welcome back to the Dig City Podcast, brought to you by Franciscan Health, the official medical provider of Purdue Athletics. I'm Cory Palm. He's head coach Dave Shondell. And, Coach, another great week for the Boilermakers. We'll talk about the 3 wins this week in depth in a little bit, but your club is off to a 7-1 start on the season with 2 non-conference matches to go. Mm-hmm. Heck of a start. I'll be the first one to throw my hand up and say I didn't see this coming from this club. I'm sure I'm not alone. Maybe you did, but how has it transpired that the Boilermakers are playing so well right now?
Well, we are playing pretty well, and we knew we had some good athletes and some potentially good players, but what we didn't know was how well this team was going to play together, and the purpose in which they were going to find this season. And I've always believed that that's huge for teams, is why are you playing? What's your purpose? What's your why, as they like to say in today's world. But for me, it's just you have to have a reason for why, as a team, you're going to go out and compete every day in practice and in matches. And this group has found that they're playing with a level of joy that I haven't seen a lot. I'm talking about 23 years.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Sometimes I'm curious as to their level of high competitiveness because they appear to be having too much fun and smiling a lot. We'll be in the heat of battle, and I'm out there trying to get them to focus on the next play and who's on the other side of the net and this type of thing. And they're just laughing and just having a great time. Now, it's early in the season, but they have certainly proven to me that we can play with just about anybody. If you had been at Kentucky and you'd have seen SMU, they've got top 5 recruits in every position. They have a setter that transferred from Texas that led them to a national championship. Mm-hmm. They have a left side hitter, Livings, who is as good of an athlete as you're going to find in a left side hitting position. Their right side player was the player of the year in the Mountain West Conference a year ago, and we had a heck of a time trying to contain her. We did not contain her very well. She was hitting from everywhere on the floor. They got 2 really athletic middles. One's about 6'3½", just really, really physical and good offensively and good defensively. And the other middle is not very big. She's kind of Raven Colvin, only she touches 11 feet. And she was really, really good. But we end up being more functional in that match. And that was kind of our rally cry going in, is that functionality will make all the difference. And so we served better, we passed better. I thought we handled the ball better. Shot selection was better. We beat them in every category. We out-hit them by 100 points. We out-blocked them 10-3. We out-dug them by 10 digs. Taylor Anderson was off the chart. I watched a lot of volleyball last weekend. I did not see one setter that played as well as what Taylor Anderson played last weekend in those matches against Houston and the match against SMU. And she's coming a long way.
Yeah.
She's changed her mode of operation this season. Her willingness to listen and adjust as coaches suggest things to her is a lot different. Her love for her teammates is drastically different than what it was before. And the joy she's playing with is a big difference. But she was fabulous. And when your setter plays that well, it makes everybody else a little bit better. But I definitely wanted to give her a shout out. But I just think it's purpose. It's these guys really do care about each other. They're having fun. But adversity is going to hit at some point in time. We don't have a lot of depth, as I mentioned before on this podcast, and I'll let you say a few things in a little bit. But on this podcast, that we're going to try to redshirt all 5 freshmen. That sounds simple, but it's not, as you have illnesses and injuries and things that we have had pop up. So we'll see how that plays out down the stretch. But We're hoping that we can stay relatively healthy. We're not right now, but we'd like to get there. And if that happens, then I think we got a chance to win a lot of matches this season.
Certainly. I know you've faced some adversity in the way of illness and injury so far, but the results on the floor really show that you play with who you got, and so far that's been enough.
The medical staff that we utilize, mostly a lot of them out of Indianapolis, some right here in West Lafayette, but we had 3 surgeries during the off season. Those 3 are all starting for us and playing at a high level. Cash Anderson, okay, when we need a kill, there's a good chance the ball's going to Cash because she knows how to find ways to score points. You can be a really good athletic attacker, but if you don't know how to score points, you're not helping us, okay? She knows how to score points. She's got shots, okay? Dior Charles, getting better every day. We knew she was a great blocker. Now she's getting, quality setting from Taylor Anderson, and they're starting to click a little bit. So now she's putting some offensive points on the board. And Ryan McAleer, none of those 3 played in the springtime for us. And McAleer was just Defensive Player of the Week and earned it, absolutely earned it. Just really playing beyond her years right now, and just is kind of the little engine that could on our team. And of course, Grace Heaney did not play during the fall, did play some during the spring. Did not hit the ball with great pace during the spring, coming off of some work on her shoulder, but she hit the ball every way you would want against SMU on Saturday. So we're getting healthier in some areas. Other areas we're still kind of fighting a little bit, but every team has problems, as you know.
For sure, it's how you handle those problems, that adversity, that truly matters. You mentioned McAleer and Anderson specifically playing out of this world. Is that a case where having competition in roster depth throughout fall camp really helped them elevate their game? Because I know coming in, you've got 3 setters that are all capable of playing at a very high level, and I know Ryan's been pushed on the back row, certainly by Sienna Foster and Rachel Williams and Julia Kane for sure.
Yeah.
Is it I better show up every day and do this, and that's really helped elevate them?
Maybe. I can't get into their heads. Yeah. I stopped trying to do that a long time ago. I think the fact that they're playing with this purpose I'm talking about, that they're here for the right reasons, that there's this like-mindedness that this team has right now that I think is a driving force, and they care about one another, and they're all here for each other. And so I don't think it's as much of a competitiveness for the positions as how can I be the best for this team.
Okay,
is how I would look at it. But you're right, we got 3 terrific setters, and Allie Shondell, my niece, hasn't even played yet this season, if I'm right. And trust me, I feel bad about that. In a lot of different ways, I feel bad about that because this is a really good setter that's given us all she has every day in practice. She kind of runs the second unit. She has to study who we're going to play and know what they're doing. She delivers a great ball. And I wanted so badly to get her in down at Hinkle, for that, what they call the Shondell Showdown. And I don't get her in the match. And I should have. I should have found a way to do that, and I just didn't because every match was a 2-point match. And, I'm going with Taylor most of the time. We want to win. But I could have found a way to do that and probably get Taylor out for a little bit, give her a little bit of a break, and then bring her back. And hopefully when we go to Muncie to play Ball State, we'll be able to get Allie in there some because she certainly has earned it.
Definitely. Let's go ahead and talk about the 3 matches from last week. We'll start with the Butler match since it's the furthest away, but most recent in our conversation. It was a very close match for 3 sets. Now the Boilermakers won all 3 sets, but 28-26 in the third. It was 25-23, I believe. A very competitive. You guys had to bring it. You knew that going in, it was not going to be a cakewalk.
Gained a lot of respect for the Butler coaching staff and the Butler team, and how they came out and played against a Big Ten opponent that has done fairly well so far this season, and they played us every point, right down the wire. Matter of fact, I think that they played harder than we did on that night. They had a record crowd in Hinkle Fieldhouse for a volleyball match. It was done really, really well. Lots of things that were going on during the course of the match. I thought that their promotions people, their marketing people, whatever you want to call that group, game management, all the way up and down the line, did a first-class job. And it was fun to be there, but it was not fun at the time because we were stressing out a little bit because they brought their A game, and we just found ways to win down the stretch, and which was good because I thought it played out well for everybody that was there for the most part. Because Butler's fans, I thought, had to feel like their team is legitimate, and they've continued to do well. I think they're over 500 right now. And going into conference play, they were picked in the bottom half of the Big East. I think they're going to fight for a top half position this year.
It's a slow build for sure, but a school like Butler doesn't get a school like Purdue to come to Indy very often. So it's awesome to hear that they took full advantage of the opportunity, at least as far as putting on the show and taking care of a record crowd.
Just a good night for them, and their big players, their big time players, showed up and played. And that's what you want, and I know that my son Kyle was pleased with them, and I think they won 2 out of 3 this past weekend, so they're kind of got some momentum going as they get closer and closer to conference season.
That was Tuesday night. Then you had sort of an extended break before heading down to Lexington for Saturday and Sunday matches. The Saturday match against Houston, that's one of those. Houston's taken a bit of a step back, it seems like, this year. They're not quite as good as they've been, but sometimes those are the most dangerous opponents to prepare for.
Yeah, they've got a talented roster. They hit the transfer wire really, really hard and brought in some high-level players from some mid-major universities. And you just don't know what to expect when those people come onto the floor because they haven't seen a lot of Purdue's. They're going to see a lot of them when they get into Big 12 play. Teams that have, talented and experienced athletes. We may have got them at a good time. We knew we were pointing towards this match going down there. And I'm not trying to divulge any secrets, but we went down there with a 5-1 record, knowing our situation, what's happened within our program in the last 6 months or so, okay? We knew we had to win one match down there. To keep our head above water and to put ourselves in a position when conference play began if we have a good conference season, we'll make the NCAA tournament. We knew what we had to do down there, and that was to beat one of those teams. And so we really pointed towards Houston, knowing that if we beat Houston, we'll be in a great position the next day, feeling like we're playing with house money.
Right.
Well, we played Houston. They played us tough. I think, I don't think any game was super. Might have been a 2-pointer in there somewhere. You got the numbers in front of you.
Second set was 25-23.
But I felt like as much as you can when you're the coach, that we were in control of that match and that we were the better team. And got good performances. I don't think either Grace or Kenna played particularly well numbers-wise, but we got great middle play. Dior and Lindsey Miller were really good, and Cash Anderson was pretty good in that match and put the hammer on some balls, and Julia Kane was good and McAleer was good, so our ball control kind of kept us in that one. And then we have a short amount of time. That match was, I think, maybe a noon match, and then we're playing at 11 o'clock the next day. We're playing.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And we've got SMU, who had just beaten about 3 high-tier teams before they ran into Kentucky on Saturday. They lost to Kentucky, but Kentucky's the top 5 team in the country, playing their home opener, so people were fired up. They had a great crowd in there on Saturday. Now we're playing SMU, and I want to get better. That's my goal. Let's get better. We're going to play some real athletes here. There's some real ponies, okay? No pun intended with SMU's Mustangs, but there are some ponies on the floor. And I knew that some would give us a lot of trouble, but I thought that we had a good game plan going in. Our team knew they had to be locked in and ready to play, otherwise we didn't have a chance. And the funny thing was we get off to a great start, and we're up 22-19, looked like we're going to steal the first set, and then we kind of give it away.
Yeah.
We made about 3 or 4 miscues in succession. Before we know it, they've won the first set, and it was close, 25-22 maybe, 25-23.
23, yep.
So it's a 2-point loss. And I'm not sure where it's going to go from that point in time, but we really played well with the exception of the last 4 or 5 points. We come out and pretty much control everything from that point in time. I thought we handled the ball extremely well. The idea was to be very functional, and we were functional. And I thought that was the difference. And if we can continue to play with that kind of mentality, where we're going to be in control and we understand taking care of the ball is important and playing well together, then we'll have a shot to win a lot of matches.
For sure. Just to put some numbers to what you give away the first, lose the first set down the stretch, right?
I think you said it right first time.
Well, okay, I tried to soften a little bit. But then, like you said, a 3-point win in set 2, a 2-point win in set 3,
Yeah.
and then sort of ran away with it in set 4, 25-18.
Yeah.
You guys hit 433 in that fourth and deciding set.
Well, if you look at the individual game numbers, we out-hit them prominently in every game. This is SMU.
Right.
That has big time athletes. So defensively, the game plan was good. We spent a lot of time last week talking about blocking, and I'm not going to get a lot of detail about what changes we made.
Good.
But they were things that we saw that we needed to do differently, especially against these two teams that we were going to play because of the type of shots that they hit. And I thought that work that we did paid off big for us. That our blocking was significantly better. I think, as I mentioned, we outblocked them 10-3.
10-3, yep.
And this is a team that probably has 5 players touching over 10-6 on their team. So just a good weekend for us, and great to come home with that type of enthusiasm and satisfaction for playing well.
As a layman volleyball fan, I saw the results from SMU on the weekend. They lost a tough one to Kentucky, lost to Purdue. I thought, well, maybe sometimes in sports early in the season the team's ranked and maybe a little higher than they should. This is a heck of a team, not just talent-wise, but like you said, they've already got wins over TCU, Baylor. They beat Washington. They just came off a great win over A&M.
A&M's loaded, yeah.
A dominant, they swept the Aggies
Yeah.
the week before. So
Yeah.
it's a very good team who's been playing very well. So
Yeah.
it just puts even more.
And they're still ranked ahead of us. I mean, that tells you how much respect that
Yeah.
they have. SMU is still ranked, I believe.
Let me
You may check that out. I think they're still
here.
ranked a spot
They are. They're 10 and you're 11
ahead of us.
coming
Now,
in.
I'm not sure everybody, because we played 2 matches against really good opponents. You had a top 15 matchup, but nobody knew about it because there's no streaming.
No streaming. Nobody can
No,
see it.
nobody, did it really happen? I guess is the question. If it's not streamed, and then the radio broadcast goes down,
Oh, okay.
did it actually happen? That's the question. But so nobody really saw it. And you think in today's world, when you can get on there, when I'm watching TV about every night, I got volleyball all across the board up there. But this one was not on.
Well, that's 2 times this year going down to SEC countries, bitten us a little bit for having not been playing an SEC opponent.
We may be the best kept secret in America.
Well,
right
let's
now.
keep it that way for a little bit longer. So the Boilermakers 3-0. A couple of individuals that stand out. I thought Grace Heaney's numbers against SMU were out of this world. 19 kills, 4 blocks, 12 digs.
Yeah.
Really kind of a bit of a coming out party for her.
I agree. We know what Grace can do. She's a unique athlete from the standpoint she's long, she's left-handed, which people aren't used to seeing a ton of left-handers to defend. She's got incredible range. She doesn't thunder the ball. She hits it quick, but she doesn't thunder it. It's not like one of those you hear throughout the gym when the hand contacts the ball or the ball contacts the floor. But she can hit it so many different spots in so many different ways. And sees the block better than most any kid I've had here at Purdue, which is a beautiful thing. And contacts the ball high. So she was fabulous. Not only was she good offensively, she blocked a ton of balls. She dug balls. She served the ace in set 3, I think it was. It was really close. And we weren't even serving her a lot, but we ran out of subs. And we had to have her go back and serve. So she serves a tough ball that we win point 24 in that 3rd set, and then she serves an ace. And we raced to the other side of the net to get ready for the 4th set. So
Get out there.
it was a great match for her, and I think there'll be more of those in the future.
One more notable, Lindsey Miller against Houston. 10 kills on 13 swings, no errors. Explain to us how difficult it is, even in the middle where you're getting quick sets sometimes.
Yeah.
To be that clean with that many opportunities.
You have to be an experienced player.
Yeah.
Number one, to be able to adjust to whatever kind of set and situation you have, seeing the block, just making sure you understand the value of not giving points away. And she's had other matches this year like that, where she's just been really good, but she's super fast, getting off the floor, really, really fast, going behind the setter. And even the big left side hitters that they had on SMU, they just could not catch up to where she was when she was running that slide. It was interesting because Livings was a starting left side hitter last year for USC. And Lindsey Miller was at USC but didn't play last year. She redshirted, but they saw each other in practice all the time. So I thought it was interesting how that played out during the course of that match. But Lindsey was really, really good. And again, she's been fighting some mysterious injury throughout the last 4 weeks. And so she's always kind of a game-to-game type situation, but seem to be a lot better when she's in the game.
Hopefully we can trend in that direction with her coming on consistency-wise, and Dior Charles continuing to improve.
And Bianca Lulich now being released and being able to play. She could have played this past weekend.
Okay.
The other two were just on. I thought they were both on top of their game. Both Lindsay and Dior were really, really good, and they've got that experience. One's a junior, one's a fifth-year senior. Bianca's had the 1 year of experience playing at Miami of Florida, but we got to give Bianca some time. Hoping we'll get her some time this weekend, whether it be Ball State or IU Indy, but we've got to get her some time because she's chomping at the bit to play. Yeah.
Having those middles performing, Grace coming on the opposites, it's sort of a chicken or the egg thing for Taylor running the offense. She's going to look better when she's got more people distributed.
And that's something that she has done a great job of, is decision making. We talked to her about some things, but she's got a pretty good plan, on what she wants to do and how much trust she has in players at certain times. And I think that's one thing she's doing so much better. I think she felt hamstrung a year ago in that she had to set, certain people so many balls. And now I think she feels like everybody is willing to, do their job. And if that means I'm going to get the ball more this game than another game, then that's fine.
Right. Well, 3-0 on the weekend. 2 more big non-conference opponents ahead, including a road trip to your old stomping grounds in Muncie, Indiana, and then back home Sunday afternoon. We'll go in depth on those 2 matchups when we come back.
The Dig City Podcast is brought to you by Franciscan Health, the exclusive healthcare provider for Purdue Athletics. Franciscan, inspiring health, working for a better tomorrow. Go to franciscanhealth.org for more information. Now, back to the show.
Boilermakers get back in action Friday night up in Muncie, taking on the Ball State Cardinals, and one of my all-time favorite Boilermakers, their head coach, Kelly Miller Phillips. It's never easy when you play Ball State because they're always so dang competitive. What can you tell us about the Cardinals?
Well, they're coached by Kelly Miller, and so Kelly's going to have them really ready to play. We've only been back to play Ball State in Muncie one other time, and Kelly was on our team that year. And we went in for a tournament, and we won 3 matches rather easily in Worthen Arena, and we got out of there. Now Kelly's on the other side. Kelly is a very disciplined coach and has a very disciplined team that plays very, very hard. I mean, her team is representative of who she is. They're not big and physical like the team we just ran into. It's kind of like the opposite. It's opposite from going from SMU to Ball State. But Ball State's very dangerous. This is a team that last Saturday beat Marquette at Marquette. Now, I'm not sure how many of our fans follow volleyball that closely, but Marquette's been a top 20, top 25 team for 10 years. And Ball State went up and beat them. And James Madison has been a team that's been in the NCAA tournament, I think, 2 of the last 3 years. And they had James Madison down 2-0 the next night, but then couldn't hang on. I don't know if they wore down a little bit or what the situation was, or James Madison just was better than they were down the stretch. But Ball State's playing really well right now. And this is a tricky situation, going into Ball State. It's kind of like when we went to Hinkle and played Butler. It's they're going to be fired up. It's a big game. They've got a Big Ten opponent coming in, and teams do one or two things. They tighten up and they don't play as well as they're capable, or they play at the very, very highest level that they can. I'm assuming that there'll be a nice crowd there at Ball State. It's a beautiful venue to play in, and we're coming off of a high of playing really, really well down in Lexington. We have to, our staff, our leadership on our team has to make sure that we're really ready to play in this match against Ball State, or it's going to be a tough trip to Muncie.
No doubt. They've got one of the better attackers statistically. She's among the national leaders in several categories in Carson Tyler, sophomore, 5'10".
They got two great left side hitters.
Yeah.
And they've got two good middles that are really, really active. And a right side, they play a couple of kids. One's from right here at Harrison High that was a great player. But their left sides are what I would call undersized for what we look at normally. But you would never know it by looking at their numbers and how hard they play and what they can accomplish. And they're great ball control players. So they never leave the floor. They hit out of the back row. They hit out of the front row. They pass. They dig. They do a lot of really positive things for them. Both of their middles are really active. They got one middle at 5'10", who's from Wapahani High School. That is really dynamic. I mean, really goes and gets it, and she runs all over the floor. They're setting her every possible set you can imagine a middle might get set the ball to. So they're going to keep our block occupied. I think our backcourt defense is going to have to be really, really good because our block's going to be missing some of this because they're spreading the floor out and they're running a lot of different routes and a lot of different things off serve receive. So we're just beginning the process right now. Obviously this is Tuesday around noon. And I'm not sure what time we're going to be airing this one, but that's up to you. But we will have, film today, practice today, film tomorrow, practice tomorrow, film again on Friday. We'll practice at Ball State on Friday in Worthing Arena. And then we'll play them at 6 o'clock on Saturday.
6 o'clock if you're...
Friday, 6 o'clock
Friday night. If you can't make or are unable to be in Muncie, that game will be streamed on ESPN Plus. So very glad they've got good coverage in the MAC.
Yeah.
And you can see the Boilermakers.
Ball State's got a pretty good. What do you call that over there?
They do. They got a good broadcast. Yeah,
sports broadcasting. It's one of the best. I think it's one of the best in the country. Chris Taylor. I don't know if you know him or not.
I do know Chris. Yeah.
Chris is a great guy, and I think he retired. Then he came back because. He was such a hero over there, but it's a great program over there, something that everybody at Ball State's very proud of.
Well, and something I know we're chasing, our student youth program here at Purdue.
Yeah.
We're kind of tired of hearing about the sports link up in Muncie, and we want to chase them down.
That would be great. Love to see it.
Competitiveness goes. And then Sunday, the Boilermakers are back in Holloway, taking on IU Indy. The Jaguars come up for the Go for the Goal. Gold out. Wear your gold to Holloway.
Okay.
Dressed like coaches right now. As a matter of fact, when you come out for that 1 o'clock start against the Jaguars.
Yeah, and IU Indy is the name may be new, but the program's not. And I think the coach there is now in his second or third year. But they had a good year last year. I think they're 5-5 right now on this campaign. And again, another one of those teams that they get an opportunity to do something special, they'll be ready to go. But that's a matinee on Sunday.
It is 1 o'clock start.
1 o'clock. So you can get in here, get that done, and be home in time to watch whatever football you want to watch. But that'll be our last non-conference match of the season. But I do know that they're playing well, and I know the people on their roster, several of them, and they're really competitive kids. So I know that will be a good match. That's not going to be a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. If our fans are coming in thinking that, they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they see IU Indy.
And they'll be coming off a tough match against Butler on Friday night as well. When y'all are playing the Cardinals, they'll be playing the Bulldogs down in Fishers. Then, like you said, Coach, that's it for the non-conference, and you turn the page quickly for two really important Big Ten matches. Really important, of course, in the season and the standings, but also they are returned to Mackey Arena to take on Washington and Illinois in that first week of conference play. It's always great to have the spotlight on your program. Both of those will be on the Big Ten Network, nationally broadcast, and another opportunity to show off how special Purdue volleyball is.
Well, there's nothing like playing in Mackey Arena. I mean, there's nothing like playing in Holloway either, okay? But
that's true.
The opportunities that we've had over the course of time to play in Mackey have been breathtaking. And those are the matches that our players will talk about forever. We had 2 of them last year, Indiana on one Saturday, and then the Badgers of Wisconsin on the following Saturday. We sold them out. We had 14,000 plus in Mackey Arena, and it was electric. It was just off the chart, fantastic. And those tickets sold really, really fast. Now this year, I think because maybe the dates of the events or maybe the opponents that we're playing, which doesn't make any sense. Washington is a household name across the nation. They won a national championship not too many years ago.
Right, yep.
They're going to be here on Thursday, if I've got the time right. And then Illinois, one of the biggest rivals we have, that is playing great volleyball right now.
Mm-hmm.
Both Washington and Illinois RPIs are very, very high. And so those are going to be great matches. And those are the matches we have to win, Cory. We have to be able to go out and play well, and we're playing in Mackey. We need to have that same kind of crowd we had here a couple of years, or last year, to give our team the advantage. And my gosh, if you can't be proud of this team with what they've gone through and what they've produced so far this season, I don't know what you're going to be proud of. I mean, this team is Purdue. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, this is the kind of team that our Purdue faithful should be very, very proud of.
These are must-win matches for the season to go how we want it to go. Like you said, if you're in a dogfight for those upper third spots in the Big Ten and postseason hosting, and these are vitally important matches. We need every voice in Mackey that we can possibly get for to
well, and there
team.
won't be a fan disappointed that comes and watches that competition. I mean, it'll be tight. Every game will be tight. Mm-hmm. Every point will be fought for. 3 good teams, ourselves, Washington, and Illinois. And I think the environment will be, worth the price of admission.
Another thing worth noting, with this team being so fresh-faced compared to what we've seen in the past, only about half of these young ladies played in Mackey last year because there's a lot of new faces around. It's going to be a new experience for them.
I'd say less than half actually played in Mackey.
Right.
Very, very few. So it'll be a great experience for them, and I know something that they're already looking forward to. We have business at hand this week, but I know that the thought of playing in Mackey in front of a great group of loyal Boilermakers is something that they're excited about.
Get out there, support this squad. They've certainly earned it. Let's talk about the Big Ten real quick before we get out of here. How has the conference – I know there were some stub toes early, maybe for scheduling, maybe for being too aggressive, some of these teams, but 3 undefeated teams at the moment, Nebraska, IU, and Michigan State.
Yeah. Well, first of all, just talking about Indiana.
Yeah.
I think they're 7-8-0 at this point in time, and no, they lost. Yeah, they're undefeated. They lost. They beat Miami of Florida. I think they reverse swept them, to be honest with you. And Miami of Florida is pretty good. So that was on the road, and a really good win for Steve Aird and his Indiana Hoosiers. They're a veteran crew. They've got a freshman that's really hitting the ball well for them on the outside. So I think Indiana is absolutely legitimate. And let's not lose sight of the fact we're playing them in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And the last thing we want to have happen is to go down to Gainbridge Fieldhouse and not have more Boilermaker fans in that building than Indiana fans. And that's an Indiana home match. So they're going to be pushing the tickets and maybe easier access to them, but we have to really work hard to make sure that we're going to have our people in Gainbridge. But Indiana, probably best team that they've had in many, many years, at least the way that they're playing right now. Who else was undefeated?
Michigan State
Michigan
and Nebraska.
State. Michigan State hasn't played a tough schedule yet. I don't know, how good they are yet. Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see when they start playing in Big Ten play how that plays out. Nebraska's the best team in the country. Texas is close, but I think Nebraska is the team that has the most experience and talent back right now, and they've played very, very well. So those teams are undefeated, but then you've got, I think, Wisconsin might be the number 2 team in the Big Ten at this point, but there's a gap between Nebraska and the rest of the pack.
They really distance.
In my opinion, right now. That can change in 2 or 3 weeks. But Wisconsin's there. Minnesota is there. They must have lost 1 to A&M. I think A&M beat them, which was at Minnesota. You've got Penn State, who everybody thought was going to be right at the heels of Nebraska, and then their All-American setter opted to take the season off for mental health issues. So we're hoping the very best for her. Just a great kid. Yeah. Her father played volleyball at Ball State. Doug Stark was Izzy's father. The mom played at Texas. She's grown up in the sport of volleyball, but she needs some time off, and we're certainly going to wish her the very, very best. But that's kind of the group that's right there toward the top. You've got Illinois, USC, UCLA, obviously ourselves that are in there, but it's just way too early right now to really know for sure. But Nebraska is who everybody is chasing at this point in time, and I think that no matter who we play this season, the matches are going to be close. And not the first or the last time I've said this. If we can win the close matches, we have a chance of having a really good season. If we can't win the close matches, we're going to be in trouble. Yeah. So we're going to be in a lot of close matches, and so let's hope that when we're at home, our fans come out and make a difference, like our block party, like our local fans do, like our students do. But it'll be an interesting season. It's been interesting already, and in a good way. Yep. And we hope it stays that way.
We got some great matches ahead, starting this week, Friday at Muncie, at Ball State, and then Sunday afternoon.
And I grew up in Muncie. You may know this. There's a lot of Purdue people in Muncie.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need you. We need our Muncie people that love Purdue, or maybe I was in their class at one point in time, or lived in their neighborhood, okay, went to church with them, whatever it might be.
Don't hold that against them.
Don't hold that against me. Put the black and gold on. Come out and support our Boilermakers.
Yeah, let's let this be a cute story for the Cardinals. Let's go up there and take care of business. Then IU Indy on Sunday in Holloway. Yeah. Before we turn our attention to the Big Ten. Anything else for this week, Coach?
No, it'll be fun to go back to Muncie. And see a lot of people. I think there'll be some folks that will come out to watch our Boilermakers. And if we don't play well, it's not going to be any fun at all. I can promise you that. But I think that with the 3 days we have to prep, to get ready for them, our team will be ready to play.
I can't wait to watch it. Get out there, support your Boilermakers, and we'll catch back up next week.
Thank you.
Boiler up.
Boiler up.